And so we're here today to look at what we can do, Andy, to fix the leaks.
Yeah,
Do you think it's possible?
everything's possible.
Everything's possible at a price,
At
would you
a
say?
cost.
At a
Yeah,
cost?
At a cost.
Yeah. As an amateur looking at pool repair would
Yeah.
suggest quite a big problem, because
Yeah.
water is not supposed to be coming through the side of the wall
No,
in that
definitely
way,
not.
is it?
No.
Let's see what happens if I stick my thumb in. Here we go. I think I've done it. So you got to
Hi.
you got to relocate.
Sorry. This is the meeting that I was looking forward to.
Well, you're late.
This is literally what I've been waiting for.
So,
Oh
so
my
Andy-
goodness.
She's paying, by the way, apparently.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Actually, I was joking about Julie paying, though it would be nice if you made a contribution, given all the benefit that she gets.
I give lots of
The
contributions
reality
to
is
Mapperton.
She married
that-
you.
that-
That's right, it's a
More
huge
contribution do you want?
Andy, that's very disloyal.
I know.
Thank you, Andy.
The
Great.
reality is that we are able to start repairing this pool thanks to our patrons.
Welcome to Mapperton, our family home and estate in Dorset in the southwest of England.
Julie and I took over running Mapperton a few years ago from my parents, the Earl and Countess of Sandwich.
It's a lot of work, but also a lot of fun. This place is full of fascinating stories, extraordinary people, and endless repairs.
So please join our family on this journey of a lifetime as we put all our efforts into preserving this magnificent part of England's heritage. I'm walking down the steps to the pool on what actually feels like a surprisingly warm January day. And I'm here with somebody I don't think has been on Mapperton Live before, and this is Andy Young. Andy, welcome.
Thank you.
But you've been to Mapperton a few times, haven't you?
Quite a lot. I've been to Mapperton more than I
You can imagine.
can imagine. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of all the projects that you've worked on here.
Well, it's
Over
been
the-
over 25 years.
It's been over 25 years. How many houses have you helped build here, for example?
All of them.
All of
You know,
them.
all the new projects you've done in the past, you know,
Yeah.
replumbing and
Yeah, all the works on the main house.
yeah, main
You did
house,
all
we've been
all
doing
the south stable block when we
South Stable
when
block
we
was
redid that.
completed. Yeah,
So we are really lucky to have Castles and to have Andy's support over the years,
it's been
because
fun.
your firm has really helped keep this estate going.
Well, it's been fun. It's a challenge for you, and it's a challenge for me, really. Sometimes, but it's all good
Not
fun.
a challenge for you, is it?
Yeah, well,
Never.
I wouldn't be
We're,
able to
the,
charge.
we're your easiest client.
Well, I wouldn't be able to charge you there. What do I
What-
charge you?
Well, you're not going to charge us for stuff.
No,
are
it's
you?
all free.
Oh, it's all free. Okay, good. Talking of free, we've got another project here
Yeah.
today. So we're here because we are looking at the swimming pool. And I think many of you have come across the swimming pool in previous episodes, because this is a swimming pool that is a feature of the garden, a really important feature of the garden. We think it might be as old as, I don't know, 250 years old originally, parts of this. And of course, it's a swimming pool that Julie loves to swim in, even at this time of the year.
God.
But if she swam in that now, it's pretty impossible because there's no water. And the
No.
reason there's no water is because the pool has been leaking, as people may know. And so we're here today to look at what we can do, Andy, to fix the leaks.
Yeah,
Do you think it's possible?
everything's possible.
That's his standard line, actually. Everything's possible at a price, wouldn't you say? At a
yeah,
cost.
At a cost.
Yeah. So let's get down in here and let's go and have a look at what we think the problems are and
Cool.
whether we can rectify them. And careful on these steps. You know that I broke these steps
Did you?
once. I jumped into this pool and it was so cold that I had to get out so quickly that I pulled myself up and managed to break
God.
the rotten steps that were here below.
They might break under my weight.
Well, no, because your lovely carpenter Ed has remade them.
Oh, good
So
boy.
they'll, if you trust his handiwork, you should be fine.
Oh, well, too late to refuse now.
Too late to refuse, right? So we're here inside the pool, and it's a huge pool, and it's had various things done to it over the years. Luckily, Andy, I can't see any creatures kind of crawling along.
No.
Because I know that in most of the months we got a fair few newts, fair few frogs.
No, we don't mind those. It's the alligators.
Oh, the alligators, yeah. Andy, what are the key things that we need to do? Because the problem with the pool is that it's leaking. And because it's leaking, the water level goes right down. And even though we put more water in, we can never compensate.
Balancing out. Yeah.
So what are the problems as you see them?
I see them. I've done what I call a hammer test all the way through the pool at the moment.
So a hammer test is what? Where you,
well, we're looking for hollows and
tap the surfaces.
yeah, we're trying to find hollows and imperfections in the coating on this side.
Yeah.
So in reality, it needs recoating.
So it needs recoating.
Recoating. We've got to try and.
So this to me, as an amateur looking at pool repair, would
Yeah.
suggest quite a big problem, because
Yeah.
water is not supposed to be coming through the side of the wall
No,
in that
definitely
way,
not.
is it?
No. No.
Where's that water coming from?
Well, it's coming from the ground.
So it's
It's
just
groundwater coming up to the back of the wall, finding the weakest point, and this seems to be it. So the weakest point here, and you can see the damage it's done over the years.
So it's created a kind of river, hasn't it?
It's following it.
It's like a channel. But how on earth do you stop water that is coming through the side as part of the repair?
The problem you've got, obviously, with groundwater, it follows the weakest point.
Yeah.
So the weakest point, it's found here to here.
Yeah.
Right. Everything else, left and right of it, looks pretty much the same. Obviously, a bit of build-up of groundwater there. So you've got to attack that from obviously the inside and do something from the outside to give that water somewhere to go.
So you got to
Hi.
you got to relocate.
Sorry. This is the meeting that I was looking forward to.
Well, you're late,
Oh,
and not for the first time.
okay.
But
I have
that's
a
okay.
gazillion things to do. This is literally what I've been waiting for.
So,
my
Andy,
goodness.
the backstory here is that of all the projects at Mapperton that Julie is keenest on,
Yeah.
Is this one.
This is one.
repairing
Hi,
the
Andy.
pool is at the top of her list.
Okay, so can it be fixed?
Oh, anything can be fixed. I mean, you know, we've got to look at it in several ways. At the moment, we're seeing how stable everything is.
Right.
And to date, there are some obvious imperfections on the top level of the water
What
line.
imperfections in this swimming pool?
Yeah.
I thought it had the most perfect surface, the most perfect
Well, it
floor.
nearly has.
Well, no, it doesn't at all. It's a deliberately imperfect pool.
I
Who
think
would want a perfect pool?
Here's my thing, Andy. I would like to keep it, obviously, as natural as possible, without chemicals. I don't want any of that.
No.
But I would like to have a filter system in one sense, so it doesn't
Yeah,
just
yeah.
become sort of
Yeah,
an
like a rotten
algae
pool.
soup.
Yeah.
But we're not here to talk about the filter systems today.
I know. I'm just
So,
making.
that's a
sure-
whole
yeah.
that's a
That's
whole other
excitement,
thing.
Luke.
I know she's getting
because I'm
ahead of
very
herself.
excited.
Filter
So right-
system. we're just here to plug some leaks. We're
Yeah.
here to let's see what happens if I stick my thumb in. There is obviously a famous story
Yeah.
of a boy who sticks his thumb in a dike
Well done.
Oh
and,
yeah, that's right.
and saves
dear.
Rear
saves
stand back, 'cause
Holland.
if he does.
There we go. I think
You stopped it.
You're the worst actor in
I've
the
done
world.
it. Look at this water here.
Do you think that's
this is
clean
clean
water to
Mapperton
drink,
water. You're not
or
gonna
what do you
think
think? Not really, because
It looks pretty clear.
it looks really clear. I mean, I would drink that, but
Really good. Should bottle it up.
okay, you should.
New-
It's kind of dribbling out you.
New
You know
place
what?
to go.
That actually wasn't that good. If I'm honest. No.
Okay, well, it's probably just soil.
Going back to what we're going to do.
Yes.
So we
So-
gotta rectify this groundwater problem. We can either do it by putting another coat on so that it finds its natural route down into the ground. We can either do something at the back of the wall to do it,
Right.
but there are chemicals to deal with this, and I know you don't like chemicals.
And these are just building chemicals.
Yeah, the
not,
building
not
chemicals.
water
yeah.
chemicals.
okay.
I can plug that hole.
Okay.
You can plug that hole.
Yeah, I could deal with that.
No, I get what you're
What kind of warranty do I get on that hole then? It's
When
like
the ink on the check's dry.
when the ink on the cheque is dry.
Yeah.
Wow, that's not very long, is it? It's particularly with a bank
Okay, so
transfer.
we have that, and what else do we have?
So other things that we've got to do then.
Well,
If
a
we
lot.
solve that,
Yeah.
we're going to be putting a new type of surface
Yeah.
on the bottom and on the sides.
Yeah.
And what kind
is
of
that?
Well,
material is that?
there is a pool plaster that you can use, right? Which means you've got to re-render, at least to the water line, to the stone level, right? After we've done the remedial repairs. So what I found out so far is we've got, through the hammer test, you might not see them, but they're there. In the main areas where you see the little dots, that's me trying to find the loose.
Where you've been bashing with your hammer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And we've done the same in all areas on the
You
floor.
know that you might have actually made things worse.
I probably
with your
have,
hammer,
yeah, but I am
not as
enjoying
bad
it.
as when Julie had the pressure washer out, because
Oh, here we go again.
It was so powerful.
He's
that
like blaming me.
It actually tore off
No,
the
so is this
render
what-
and created even more
No,
leaks.
he's
Yeah.
such a blame. I did it for like 5 seconds. I didn't
But
ruin
anyway,
the pool.
so going further down then, do you know what? I bet we've probably got quite a few pool experts watching this. If anyone
We
can
have. We've
suggest products
Yeah, but
for
with-
lining
Yeah,
the pool in our circumstances, do put it in the comments
Yeah, but
below.
no, remember we don't want chemicals in the pool. So I
No.
know on our last video that ended up going viral about cleaning and draining, or draining and cleaning the 18th century pool, a lot of people put, just kill everything with chlorine, and that's not really wild swimming. So I
No.
definitely I want to keep it
No.
natural, but with some type of filtration, which I know can come later. So what are you thinking though, Andy?
I know it's an old property. I've been here working here for years, but that if it's not broken, don't fix it. Right? If it's not affecting the pool, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? We've got to put a pool plaster, a Vandex, or something on there to strengthen that wall. Obviously, strengthen the wall where the leaks are and resolve those. But then we've got to do the same here. It will be a lime-based product.
Somebody else is interested
come
in
on.
the pool.
You want to come down?
I don't know whether she's going to be able to.
Let's see. Come on.
I'd be rather frightened if I
No,
was
come on,
a cat
Pippa.
jumping into an empty pool.
Here we go.
Oh, there we go.
Here we go. She's
Here
gonna love
is
it.
Pippa.
Pippa, super fat.
So the
Andy,
same in all the dark areas, you can see water is behind it.
Yes.
Right? The hammer test doesn't show too many hollows,
Yeah.
only the top sort of foot.
So where there's no hollows, you're just going to leave the material as
Yeah,
it is,
we'll-
but with have the surface on the top. And
Or
what
5/8.
about right?
Yeah.
Can we go look at the plug at the bottom here? Because this rather fascinates me. The idea that a pool like this
Come on, Pippa.
is actually like an enormous bath. Funny, isn't it, Mapton? We talk a lot about leaks, and
We do.
and
the bane of our
I guess the fact that even the swimming pool has leaks into it is reflective of all the problems that we have.
Yeah.
With leaks
Mapperton
in
is
this
just
place.
one big
It is.
leak.
But here is the way that it gets drained, and you can see it's actually pouring out quite quickly. There's really quite a lot of water flowing into here at the
From the
moment,
leaks.
coming down out the bottom.
Yeah.
And then you've got that as a plug, which I think is the bottom one,
Yeah.
and then this one is the actual plug that sits
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the top that Julie pulled the other day.
Sounded like it was going.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's the weight of the water that's holding it down. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, there we go. Okay, yeah. Definitely needed some help there. Thanks, Steve. Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
My mother used to say that we shouldn't leave the pool empty for too long
No.
because of the pressure. Do you
No,
agree
well,
with her?
I do agree with her.
You agree with my mum?
Yeah.
Because I've been resisting that.
I've never resisted it.
Oh no.
It's
What do you
it's
mean
made
you-
for a
what do you
better
mean
life.
What Andy has learned over the years of working
not
at
to resist.
Mapton is not
Right.
to resist
Right.
my mum.
Right.
In terms of manpower, how big a job is this?
Quite a big job.
Do I need to prepare
Yeah.
myself?
Yeah,
So
well-
how many chaps? How long? What are we talking
It
about?
could be 3 to 4 weeks.
3 to 4
Oh my
weeks for
gosh.
what? You.
Well, not me. I don't do any.
He
He's
doesn't,
not
do any, he
working.
doesn't do any work anymore. Do he?
3 to 4 weeks.
Couple of blokes, 3 to 4 weeks, and it's the winter time now. So
now's the time to
so
do
is
it.
Is this a good time or is this a tricky time?
It's not such a good time
Oh.
about
No.
keeping everything dry. So, like I said to you, we might need to cover it.
You and I got to crunch some numbers, and then we've got to have an arm wrestle over price,
yeah.
and then hopefully off we go.
The products.
She's paying, by the way, apparently.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Well, I just want to interrupt
Yeah.
now and say that actually I was joking about Julie paying, though it would be nice if you made a contribution, given all the benefit that she gets.
I give lots of
the
contributions
reality
to
is
Mapperton.
She married you.
that,
That's right, it's a
More
huge
contribution do you want?
Andy, that's very disloyal.
I know.
The rea-
Thank you,
the-
Andy.
The,
okay.
the reality is that we are able to start repairing this pool thanks to our patrons.
Yes.
Our fantastic patrons who support Mapperton at patreon.com/Mapperton Live.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And because of their contributions, this is one of the examples of repairs, really important repairs and
really
maintenance at Mapperton that we can afford to do, because every year, Andy, as you know, there's something big
Oh, yeah.
at Mapperton
Yeah,
that
definitely.
has to be done. And
Well, I can't ever not remember working here in 25 years.
no,
It never goes more than
No,
a week
it
or a
doesn't.
month.
but
You heard it here.
we're now really lucky to have the support of our
Well, we
of our
got the
patrons.
we got the manpower. We have to seek the knowledge. So
Yeah.
we can do anything.
And Andy
With the right-
is very good value for money. That's all I
Yeah,
can say.
amazing. So thank you again to Andy, of course, and who's been here for 25 years dealing with one project after another, and to all of our patrons who are helping to repair our 18th century pool so I can swim again, but also it is a feature of the award-winning gardens as
Yeah,
well. That is
yeah.
also very important. It is
It's not
one of
just
our
for
big
Judy's
features.
swimming.
You know.
Actually, the real reason for this
Yes, it
is it's the main feature
Yeah,
of the garden.
gardens.
And we've got to be able to fill it without it leaking.
Yes.
So there we go.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you,
Okay,
everybody.
thank you, everybody. All right, everybody, this is actually really exciting for me, and this just happened right now, and I was like, I have to get this on film. So Scotty is here.
Hello.
But introduce yourself, where you're from, and kind of what you're doing here, but don't talk about this yet, because I'm going
Okay.
to ask you questions.
No, I'm Scott Notley. I'm one of the crew managers from Bedminster Fire Station through Dorset and Wiltshire Fire and Rescue Service. And what we're doing, we're just going around the property, all through the estate, just to update on our operational risk information on the premises, just in case we have an incident here that
Right.
we know what we're doing.
Okay, so this is brilliant. So Scotty was coming through and checking everything, and then he said he was going to check this, and I know that it's a fire hose reel, but I don't know anything about it. It's just been sitting here. And in fact, Claire, our estate manager, has just reminded me that there's one in the attic that I don't think I've ever taken notice of.
You should have one on every level. Yeah, it was good. So yeah, we're well aware of it.
Okay, so is this normal to have, this is just for historic houses or for large houses? Because not every house is going to have this enormous hose reel here, right?
Yeah, so it's not in every domestic house. Yeah, we have it in complex layouts, complicated big large houses like this. Somewhere there's a bit of historic, need some protection quite a way, where we're struggling with a water supply.
Right.
So what this is, there's one on every level here, linked to a reservoir where you're struggling with water. So all I'm coming today is just to have a look at this, just to make sure the isolations are okay, and it's in working order.
Right, and how do you do that?
If there was an incident here and we wanted to, supply water for the hydrants, we could isolate the water,
Yeah.
just literally turn these on.
Okay, let's hope they're working.
Yeah, so
this
they're
is why we're
working.
checking them.
There
Oh,
we
there we
go.
go. Here
So
we go.
you turn it on like that.
Yeah?
And then water would go in. I won't want to turn it on because I don't want to
No,
flood
I
it.
hear water though.
Can you hear it going on?
Yeah, I
it's
can.
going
So
in.
you turn that on, and then what happens?
So then we just, if there was a job, we'd pour that on, and once we poured that off, all the water would start to come out, and we could do a really initial attack before the fire engine gets here.
So this
So-
could be me.
This could be you.
This is good to know.
Turn that on.
Turn this on. I've got the fire extinguisher in one hand, and then I've got the hose in the other.
And hopefully you'll deal with it before we get here. That would be hope.
So that's it. I should know this. This is why I'm happy you're here. So there's one on every floor, and
Yeah.
I would turn it this way,
Yep.
and then I could
Wind it back on.
wind it back and then go throughout the house.
Hopefully.
That's
That'd be good.
brilliant. See,
So-
I tell you, every time I come here, and I've been coming here for 20 years, but I've only actually lived here for 4, but I learn something new.
You do.
This is brilliant. All right, so should I turn it back off?
Yeah, turn that back off.
Okay.
You're strong enough.
Well,
Look at that.
okay.
Look at that.
Oh, wait, that didn't do it. Did it do it?
Yeah, done it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, you might want to check that, Scotty, because I don't think I even moved it. I mean, see?
There you go. It's completely off.
right,
Any
well-
problems, we've got the bigger fire engine obviously here when we come in with our own hoses if it was a bit more,
Yeah.
a bigger fire to tackle. But that would do an initial fire quite good
Okay.
before we get here.
There you go.
Please help support this important part of England's heritage by becoming a patron at patreon.com/Mapperton Live.
So I'm getting ready for my Italian lesson. I have been doing Italian lessons, taking Italian lessons, I should say, for, I can't believe it, almost 2 years. So April 1st, 2022 will be my 2-year anniversary. And I think there's only been 1 week over the past sort of 20 months that I haven't had at least one lesson. I'm pretty sure only 1 week. I even do this while I'm on holiday, probably shouldn't, but I love it so much. So I just make sure that it's like yoga for me. I make sure that I get it in. Not every day, but I'd say I have lessons minimum 3 times a week. Just like yoga, I do yoga probably minimum 3 times a week, but I do try to do Italian 4 to 5 when I can. I found my tutor online. Her name is Isabella. I found her online, and she's based in Italy, and obviously I'm based here, and it's been working out really, really well. So I'm just getting ready. She gives me homework, a lot of homework. Here are my notes. I hopefully can speak with her okay today, because it's funny when you don't do it for a couple of days. It's amazing how bad you can become in that short time not speaking it. But the other thing that I also do is I do watch Italian, it's crazy, but I watch Italian cartoons on YouTube. That helps me massively. So mostly Italian fairy tales. I'm obsessed with them, and I watch them with Italian subtitles, so I don't do English subtitles. Because my Italian is decent enough that I don't need English subtitles anymore, and it really does help me, especially with the different tenses of verbs. That's where it gets quite tricky. And of course I learn new words as well, but the Italian, weirdly, the Italian fairy tales that are in cartoons help me so much. So she should be calling in any minute right now. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, come stai?
Bene, bene, abbastanza bene. Mi dispiace per lunedì perché quella mattina mi sveglio.
Mi sono svegliata.
Mi sono svegliata e non Covid, ma la mia stomaca.
Il mio stomaco.
Il mio stomaco.
Luckily, these Italian lessons have been put to good use as I head to Italy this week over on our sister channel, American Viscountess.
You might be able to hear some banging downstairs because we are in full force of construction on the first floor, but it's really about the bathroom. So I only just arrived here a few days ago. I'm actually going back to London tomorrow because I have a job to do, in England. I have to, at Mapperton, and I need to film for Mapperton Live.